the dream isolates you, and it gets very tough because it isolates you from the people you love, the closest people from you. You can become isolated from them, and then you need a community with driven by purpose, driven by a dream, and be inspired. Just
I love what you're saying.
yeah.
I mean,
So
what you're
like
saying.
like let's make our dream collaborate, because at the end I think they all fit in the same place.
Yeah, but the reason why like collaboration is absolutely critical.
It's a
The
value actually
inspiration,
we should put.
yes, I
Mm,
agree. Absolutely. The
yeah,
inspiration is like you're not there yet, but you're inspired to keep learning and growing.
yeah.
And it kind of like, I worked with a pastor one time at a church, and he wanted to reach thousands and thousands of people, but he had something we talked about, and I think this applies here. It's inspiration. You want people to keep growing and growing in that thing, so it doesn't ever end. And that's where
Hmm.
I think that, like you said, sometimes you can feel isolated, but if you're collaborating, you've got a team, but you're inspired every single day because every single day you can learn, you can grow. Self-educated people, I mean, it's far better than
Hmm.
any school that you're going to learn,
Yeah,
you can go, right? So, my thoughts
yeah.
on it. I mean, I
Bob,
wasn't anticipating this conversation today, but I'm glad we're having it.
Oh,
thank you. We're
I'm liking
grateful.
it.
We're grateful for your presence, but
Yeah.
Hadi is another hot spot for hockey. He's in Montreal. Bob started his hockey career at a
Really?
mature age. Now he plays 3 times a week. So there's no limits in the blue zones. I'm really,
Yeah,
today I was
What?
blown away by what he shared with us. So these private conversations bring so much value. I get so much inspired. That's why I just wanted everybody to benefit from the presence of conversation of Bob, and I learn, and Vic is learning, and you're learning. I'm so grateful for everyone here. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
What did you
Actually,
come up with, Vic? I think we got something to work with. Inspire people to live their best lives.
All right, I'm going to go back to the 9 words. And this is just the way my brain works. And I have in groups of 3s. The 9 words are mindset, education, inspiration, clarity. Second set, clarity, transformation, entrepreneurism. And the fourth part, purpose, because that's what we will have created after everybody goes through the course. Fulfillment, which is the ultimate, that fulfillment to me is what life's all about. And the whole Blue Zones thing all puts it all together and creates fulfillment in life, physically, mentally, the whole deal. And then leadership, which is a new one that just came about, which is a biggie. Leadership cannot happen without the all the things that we teach in this course, especially the personal development for it. So, Bob, I'm pretty sure you're going to agree that you have never come across somebody that you have coached and actually gone through this process that you charge the big money for, that has become a leader that did not maximize this personal development. Absolutely crucial, right?
absolutely.
You can't do it without the other.
Yeah.
So,
And quite
um,
honestly, they're growing as we speak. Even though like they continue to grow. And like for example, say someone actually hires me to kind of coach them for a couple of years. There's going to be another phase. Look, I hired a coach 4 years ago. There was something very specific that I wanted to learn, and I wanted someone to hold me accountable, and I wanted someone to push me and kind of and guide me, right? So I think that, as in the course of our life, we're going to have several mentors or coaches. Sometimes they know it and sometimes they don't. But I think that coaches or mentors, I mean, are absolutely, you have to see someone that's already where you want to be. And then that's crucial. And then that's the person you can listen to and you surround yourself. I met with a not a young guy, but a business owner a couple of weeks ago, and he had sent his management team to a round table, and I had suggested 7 years ago that he actually send this management team to get some management, leadership training, HR training for the business. He didn't do it. So now all of a sudden he decides to send his management team to this roundtable discussion. It was out in Detroit a couple weeks ago. And so he told me about it. And so when the managers came back and I said, how was it? And he says, oh, it was really good. And I said, well, how many people were in the group? He says, 36 people. I said, well, how many of them were successful? It was one or two. I said, get out of the group. Get out of the group. It's really simple. You got to you got to get out of the room. You know, you got to remove and put yourself in a room. I don't care if they're in the same industry or not. You need to surround yourself with 3, 4, 5, 6 different leaders in different industries that are successful so that it leaves clues. Success leaves clues and you just grab them. The models are already there. No matter what it is we're trying to accomplish in life, I guarantee you there's a blueprint to get there, to that outcome. And I said, you just need to surround yourself, get out of that roundtable discussion, and you got to surround yourself with really successful, talented people that have already done it. They've navigated all the challenges, all the uncertainties. They've lived through COVID. They've lived through the economic crisis we had. And so then when you do that, you put yourself with good people, and all of a sudden you're not into, excuse me, but not in a bit session, and everybody's comparing all these, horror stories. You're jumping into this, into a conversation where people are very proactive. They're thinking
Hey,
1, 2, 3 years down the road.
sorry, Bob, to interrupt you. I just want to introduce, actually, Jan is my best friend here, is also based in Montreal. I think it's a very good timing that he joined us because he is also very into hockey and would love to become a coach one day. So, so
I love it.
So maybe you can tell me a little bit more about your background, Bob, because I missed that and I'm really intrigued right now. I
Can't
joined a
escape
little bit
hockey,
late.
Bob. Give it to them. What's your hockey career? Not Bobby Orr, but it's very close to Bobby Orr.
Listen, this is my story is not very flattering, and it's nothing, from a hockey perspective. Okay, I grew up a hockey fan my whole life. Played street hockey as a kid. Um, I was very poor as a kid, and my parents were real poor. My parents split when I was young. But long story short, I was traveling, and a buddy of mine from Minnesota. We hooked up in New York, and we had gone to a Rangers game. Now we've been friends forever. We lived in the same town, but the point is that we were in New York, and we got together wherever we went. We kind of hooked up. So we're in New York, and we went to Rangers game, and we left the game. He says, "Boy," he says, "you really know the game." He goes, "How come you don't play?" And I said, well, I don't know how to skate. I said, there's a big, pitfall right there. I said, I might love the game, but I don't even know how to skate yet. Well, he grew up in Minnesota, was on the ice every single day for his entire life, played high school, played college hockey. And so then he said to me, he goes, well, let's go. Let's give this a shot. And I said, I can't. I don't know how to skate. No one's gonna let me on the ice. So I was telling Arif earlier, I said, I was fairly successful at my point in my career, and I was a pretty good athlete. I had done some different things in my life. I said, but now all of a sudden at 48 years old, to decide to learn how to play hockey, that was a little embarrassing and very, very humbling. So this was on a Wednesday. I went out and I bought $1,000 worth of gear, and on Friday I played. It was January 6th, 19 years ago. And so I've been playing 3 days a week since then. I play in tournaments, I play in leagues, I play in, beer leagues, I play with young guys, 20, 30-year-old guys. And so I'm fairly competitive now at this, beer league level, but I love the game. It's an awesome sport. I think it really parallels business, in the way that it's a team game. I
Mm.
love team sports, and so that's my game. And I have some very good friends in Montreal and Toronto. And yeah, there's a lot of this going on during the Stanley Cup time, but it's it's fun, great game. And I don't mean to bore you guys with that story, but that's my hockey
Oh,
story.
that's nice. And where are you based right now?
Syracuse, New York.
Okay, so you're still in New York.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I grew up actually as a Flyers fan, and then over the last 20 years, I've been a season ticket holder for the
Mm.
Syracuse Crunch, which is an AHL team, and they play against Laval, I believe, that level. Okay, so I've been season ticket holder for them, but our Syracuse Crunch is a developmental team for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and so all those guys that are at the Lightning all came through our program, and it's so much fun to see them. They were 19, 20-year-old kids, 21-year-old kids, Now all of a sudden they go to the Stanley Cup, they win a couple, so it's fun. Great game.
Actually, yeah, actually, I feel like your story does resonate a lot with my friend too. We grew up together here in Montreal. He is the first Canadian I have met because we immigrated in Canada. I'm born in Algeria. My
Okay.
parents come here when I was 13, and he's the first guy I met. And he was already playing on the street, and from then we just
Yeah,
stayed together until now. And we
that's
also
awesome.
gravitated our professional life together. We became managers in the aerospace industries. Last year, I have left this field to become an entrepreneur and follow my dream because this wasn't aligned with my inner voice. And I feel like Jan is also feeling the calling right now. Would you like to introduce yourself, Jan?
Yeah, for sure. Nice to meet you guys. I mean, just as Hattie said, a little bit about our background there. Grew up together in Montreal. Kind of went through high school, college, university, and then professional life side by side. So and now again, we get together in this meeting, trying to find our best voice, I guess we could say. Um, I've always been kind of around the sports life. That's really my passion there. Kind of drifted away from it a little bit in the last couple of years. I mean, professional life takes over, family life takes over, all the sorts of stuff. But that's where I'm at right now, trying to find a way to um, get back to the sports life as being my source of revenue. Trying to find a business model or some sort of mm, a way to monetize sports activities to make it my living, because that's really what uh, I'm 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 really feeling the best when I'm doing sports. So that's really where I'm at right now. Um, Still working in the aerospace industry at the moment, though, but really in the thought process of
Are,
making a
Jan,
switch,
are
and it
you an
really can be my
engineer?
own.
Are you an engineer in the aerospace, or how are you?
I'm a manager, so I did electronics studies, and then I started as a technologist in the aerospace industry, which is pretty much the same as an engineering job.
Yeah,
Let's say you review data sheets, you review electronics plan, electronics assembly drawings, and so on and so forth. And then I made my way up to the manager level after a couple of years there. Now I manage a group of 60-ish electronics technicians for a company called MDA Space, which builds satellite systems here in Canada. Um, yeah, but I mean, uh, I'm being told by my peers and my bosses that I'm doing an amazing job at it, but myself, I just can't see myself doing that for the 30 years or so. It just doesn't resonate with me.
right. Well, that's good. What do you, what feeling do you have? Like, where are you leaning?
I
I
mean,
mean,
most
go
definitely
ahead.
I'm leaning towards becoming an entrepreneur. I have tried being an entrepreneur a couple of years back when I was in my early 20s. I'm 33 years old now. Um,
Mhm.
Founded a sports supplement store, um, kind of like what we have here, Popeye supplement, and that kind of shops. We sell protein, creatine, all sorts of sports supplements. Didn't quite work, but I've absolutely loved the experience. Did that for about 2 years before I sold my part to my partners. We're three partners in that business.
Yeah,
We just didn't align completely on how to grow the business and really make it successful. So I just decided to take a step back and let them go their own way, because they were both of them were aligned, and I had a different vision. It was not like a painful breakup or anything like that. It was just we didn't align, so I decided to take a
sure.
step back. But ever since that experience, I knew that entrepreneurship is really the way for me. Um, I've kind of felt in the trap, let's say, of security, uh, landing a job in aerospace industry, making six-figure salary is kind of comforting when you're trying to build a life. But as time goes by, I just realized that if I continue in that path, I'll never quite be really happy. So yeah.
So what are you thinking now, guys? What I mean, are you all together because you're all sharing the same vision? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, actually, it's the way we met is actually was very spontaneous. I have met someone in when I was on my trip in Malaysia. His name is Robert D'Souza. I don't know if you know him. And then he put me in contact with Arif. Like right now, he
Okay.
just texted me and join us in that meeting. And then I just met Arif and I ended up here. So actually, there is no real plan right now. Is like it's just instinctive. I'm instinctively in the right place, and I quite like it because I feel aligned, and that's helping me actually not to overthink. I used to overthink a lot, and this new way of living put me challenges me more and actually giving me even more results. So now we are here, we are discussing, but I know after this discussions, things will align in my head and more opportunities will
Yeah,
come.
I
And so
agree.
that's what I'm feeling right now. Sometimes we tend to overthink a lot. We tend to also overplan. I have a plan, I have an objective, but I don't want to put limitation on how things will unfold in front of me. For example, I have my objective and I have to have faith and just say yes to everyday opportunity and I will get there. I don't know what you think. Do you have maybe something that could complement what I'm saying or helping me forward?
No, I think you know what I mean. I think that sometimes people get bogged down in the details of a plan, right? And you've
Yeah,
kind of already identified that. You don't want to overthink. I think the key is to take action.
yeah,
You see, you have an idea. You don't know. I mean, look, success isn't linear, right? So you just you go for it. You just start taking action, making it, and all of a sudden the path kind of finds its way, and you kind of navigate it, and you overcome the challenges. But yeah, I think you're it's inspiring to hear your story about that. I mean, how you're trying to do it. I, my one piece of advice is make sure you're making a big move, and maybe you're
hmm.
following your inner voice. I would take action. That would be the
Actually, this inner voice also made me take a big action already that didn't quite work, but maybe that's what I needed at that time. Because when I
mm,
quit my job last year, I just bought two tickets to Japan instinctively. I was already following my instinct, and actually, this is
right.
how I quit my job. I went to Japan with my wife. We ended up working in a farm because we didn't have a specific destination. It was
Mm,
my challenge not to plan this trip and just let it unfold. And then this farm actually helped me heal myself. And I met so many people, and we end up in an island in Okinawa,
Which is just
meeting
happens to be a major blue zone. And
yeah.
what an
So
ironic twist.
yeah, that's funny.
and and then we met this lovely lady, and she became kind of my second mother now, and I keep going visit her. During our first visit, we learned to meet to know each other. She doesn't speak English, unfortunately. She only speaks Japanese, so with the help of translation. But actually, it was quite interesting because when you don't speak the same language, you have to to trust your instinct, and there is a communication is behind words. And I felt
Right.
that she understand me even more than many peoples that speak the same language. So
Hmm.
there we built so deep relationship. And when I left, I I never stopped thinking about this place and her. And actually, there is a friend I have made there that come visit us in Montreal, and she told me that her place is taken by the bank because she defaulted and will be in an auction. So I went back there with my wife without telling her. It was like a surprise, and just announced that we will buy this place. So we want to participate in the auction. So we teamed up. We didn't know how things go. We didn't know all the steps. So we just like discovered the administrative in Japan, which is awful. Honestly, oh, honestly, administration is in Japan is very awful. So
That's funny.
they are like
Unfortunately, yeah,
yeah, super high technology, leading in many areas. And when it gets to administration, they still use fax, and they have like so many paperwork. And then
great.
also to have the money. There is like someone he never met. We never met, but only with the trust. He just gave me money so he could back me with this project, because it was like a project driven by love. It's not like
Yeah,
this place doesn't make a lot of money. Actually, she was helping a lot of people, and her business that she defaulted in was helping autist children. And because she has two autistic children,
yeah.
so it's kind of natural path for her. Yeah, her life was a bit messy, but she's still keeping strong and actually being
That's awesome.
very active. Yeah. So
All right. All right.
unfortunately, there is.
I don't want to cut you off, but we have an agenda here, and we're getting off the agenda, which we usually do.
Sorry.
The reason for this meet is completely 100% to be able to create a website that we can promote the hell out of to get this whole thing growing to a big thing. That's the main reason for this to do. So my idea on this website is to create a mission statement, have that listed. Second is to have a video that supports the mission statement next to the list of 4 pillars, which we already have existing, and then create an action statement that specifically shows the exact course of what they should do to be able to sign up for the course, commit to being part of weekly 30-minute sessions with their mentor, which at this point is Arif, but there's going to be many, participate in the community to be able to make the whole process go, of which we're going to be creating shortly. The community is the collaboration, the networking, the whole process to be able to have everything come full circle as people are finishing the course, going through that, creating their purpose, creating their whys, having their mindset, educating themselves, creating their inspiration, transforming potentially themselves to be the best person they can be, and then using entrepreneurship to be able to have lead fulfillment and to become a leader. That's it. How we put that into a page of boom, there it is. That's the goal for this call. So I listed on the chat the original mission statement that Arif and I created that has changed and morphed many, many, many ways. Everybody read that and tell me if you like it, hate it, what you want to change to be able to do it, and how to make that succinct that we could actually put onto the site.
I actually have a suggestion for you. Jan, welcome, and I appreciate you being here. First time I heard your story. You're actually in a good position that I was in 2005. I was a manager at FedEx, but not very happy, thinking about it. Finally, I got a license to do something part time, and from that part time, I took off in 2007 and never looked back. And I'm now basically here to testify. If you can approve what Vic just said, read that statement, see if it resonates with what you just said to us. We'd really appreciate your feedback because you don't know anything. If this is a new person who reads it, understands it, okays it, it's fine with me.
Sure, just give me a couple minutes there. I'll read the text and I'll get back to you with some feedback for sure.
And one of the things that Tony had brought up that I think is important is we are different things to different people. There are people that want to just become a better person overall that'll take the course just for the personal development part. There are people that are business people that all they want to do is generate more business and to be able to do the collaboration part. And the course itself will help with that tremendously because the personal development part, which Bob very eloquently said how important that is, will resonate with them, and they'll realize that that's an important part of being who they are, to be able to create that fulfillment so that they can have all the things that they want in life and transform themselves and their business into what needs to be, and then use our community to be able to wrap it all together. That's what we want to try to convey and make that message very, 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 very clear so that people can go through this site very quickly and understand exactly what we do, why we do it, and answer the questions. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I really like an offering something that would be of use to business people or entrepreneur wannabes to answer the questions of who, what, where, why, where, and how. And we should be able to do that on one page in the site. How do we do it? I'm asking the group.
I mean, I could go ahead with some feedback if you want from what I read. And I know very little about the project. I mean, Hadi told me a little bit, of course, before joining the meeting in the past couple of weeks since he joined you guys. What I could say is that to me, that description, let's say, seems to remain very high level. It might be the intent there, but I think it misses a little bit of more concrete description of what the project is, something maybe more precise to give people a better idea of, okay, if I'm joining this community, it's actually what I'm gonna get. um, as you said before, Victor, that 30 minutes one-on-one, just maybe that could be touch based a little bit there, just to so that people can realize, okay, I'm gonna have one-on-one sessions with mentors that really gonna take me you know, hand in hand to get me to where I want to go. Maybe that's the one thing I see that could be missing there. All in all, I mean, you can see the reason, the mission of the company or the community there. It's clear enough to me. It's just that maybe more specific details I would say are missing.
So, Arif, one of the things that I came up with last night that I think will work is this video that we're going to create that is going to be on the website that we can do in 3 minutes. And it's 3 separate sections: a minute on our mission statement, which actually you can do less than that, the 4 pillars, and then the action steps. And specifically, as Jan did just very, very well state, exactly what to expect and what the results will be. And then boom, we got it. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the point also. Just have the expectation of people where they should be, because otherwise they can feel a bit lost. Victor, if you allow me, just because I just invited Tony, and I really wanted him, if you allow me, to explain why I wanted him to meet my best friend. Actually, Tony, we met yesterday, and Jan is my best friend who was working with me also in the aerospace. He's a manager there. I was a manager. I quit it last year to follow my new path of entrepreneurship, which led me to meeting all of you guys. And yesterday you talked about uh, a lot of business, and one of them was also in supplement. My best friend tried to open a business in that area, and he just told us about this story a couple of minutes ago. And I think you could also have a lot of feedback for him. And you also have business in supplement, I believe. So it could be a good thing for you guys to
So,
discuss. Maybe after your agenda is done with Victor. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Just
Hadi,
yeah,
happy to do
thank you.
that. Happy to do that, Hadi. I'll connect
yeah,
with you, Jan. Yeah.
So that would be included in the one-on-one sessions. I'd like to meet with Yan as well, or maybe four of us again, to set up to see in this course. The first thing we do, again, you have the notes, is to set clear goals for the next 90 days. I
mm,
have a major project for next 90 days. My major project is to train 7 people on this course. Let's say you one of them, Vic, we one of them. It doesn't matter your industry. It doesn't even, it's a mindset, like Bob said. And the
yeah,
mindset doesn't depend on your age. It doesn't depend on your finances. It doesn't depend on nothing. You just said it how to yourself. You go there, the lady opens up the house. You even work with her. You even put an offer on her house. None of this would happen if you didn't take action.
yeah,
Bottom line is we like people to click, sign up for the course, go through it, be employed. Again, supplement alone is one part of health. My products is incredible. I can't wait to get some to the US, to Bob and to Victor, to set it up and expand it in US. It could be a whole. Those 4 pillars have all 4 different businesses.
First week in August, we're going to do that. Bob, be ready. We're doing it. I'm going to make absolutely sure that we actually come up with a date, and we're going to come up with it soon. That literally, I'm going to show up someplace south of Syracuse. 3 of us are going to do, and boom, that's going to be. And then the whole Camel Care business
Again,
thing will be in the.
I'm sure if Hadi could go from here to Japan based on instinct, we can go from here to Syracuse based on.
Exactly. It's like poof. My car
Hey,
knows how to get there too.
I'm supposed to be up in Montreal in the next few weeks, actually. So I've talked
come
to,
visit us.
yeah, if I once I firm that plan up, I'll let you know. If you guys are available, maybe we'll grab coffee or something.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah, sure. You're
Jan, you want to
welcome.
be a sports coach? Here it is. The sports coaches here. Train the trainer. That's what this program is.
That's
Really.
amazing.
Put
Yeah,
it in your
Jan's above
calendar.
my
Make
pay
sure you
grade.
follow up.
The trainer part is going to be an integral part of the community, which is a subset of this. It's kind of a reward for people that actually pay the money for the course. It gives them the right to be able to be part of the community, to be able to mentor, to list their products and service, and to post awesome stuff about what we do. And as that grows, that's when the business will start to happen. That's when the collaboration will occur. That's when people will gravitate to individual people, what they do, because everybody will be on the same page with the same mindset. That's the big part of the vision. And Tony knows about that because we have attempted to do that before unsuccessfully, but this is going to be a different thing because it's a much bigger overall approach because it covers the things that other courses do not. And that's what's unique about what we're doing here with this Blue Zones for business is that I haven't seen anything else that does that really focuses in on the physical, mental, and financial part of being the best you can be by being able to do the education part of it, to be able to the coursework, to be able to put it all together, to be able to hit all those functions. So how do we actually say that in a mission statement without being too wordy that people would get it? We gotta knock this out like in the next 15 minutes because we're gonna publish a website like literally today.
Vic, will there be a separate landing page for the Entrepreneurs Collaborative?
Absolutely. It's going to be literally, it's in the format that you used, Demi, with that world project thing. It could easily be it will be the part of it, how it'll look. And there's going to be things across the top. One of them is going to be community, that people will always be able to go to our own website, be able to click on that community and literally log in to our community to be able to do what they want to do. 100%.
Victor, can I ask a couple questions?
Please.
Victor, where are you located?
Me, physically, I am outside of Philadelphia.
Okay.
I'm about 4.5 hours to South Syracuse.
Okay, no, that's perfect. I was just curious as to where you were located. So, couple things. I mean, you guys are playing around with the health and wellness space, but remember that the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota has been over, what, 150 years? And their value statement is 7 words. The needs of the patient come first. The needs of the patient come first. It's 7 words. It's been the same 7 words for 150 years. And it has inspire those guys and to grow and do exactly what they're doing and be one of the true leaders in the world in their space. Vic, you might know Wegmans food markets. I've talked about them a couple of times. They have 105 stores. They have 105 stores, and there are other food markets across the country that have 15 to 20 times the number of stores they have, but they are by far the market leader. Every day you get our best. That is their value statement. Every day you get our best. Now they have a value proposition and a commitment that's a little bit deeper. Same with the Mayo Clinic, right? So these guys have a value proposition that's probably somewhere along the words of 35, 40 words that explains it. So I take whatever you're doing, make it more brief and concise. I would have a 7 to 10 word value statement. And then the only other thing I can really suggest, I'm not a social media expert, but I get it, and I've worked with a lot of people. But I would really try to answer or solve one problem. Solve one problem. All these things that you're offering to do, what is the problem? What is the emotion? What is the fear that someone has? And you're trying to satisfy just that one. If you identify one, it could be wrong. It could be the wrong one. But if you identify one, I promise you, you'll be more brief and concise and you'll get there. That's just my thoughts.
All right. So what's the one?
You guys are further along in this game than I am. I've already given you what I think is a good
Yeah.
value statement. You know, it's like
I
you
think
guys,
I think
think
they have.
Hadi
Sorry.
explained what Hadi, before you speak, let me explain what you just said. If I understand it, he just said what the number one problem is. And that's a space for entrepreneurs to come and collaborate, express themselves, as he's just about to. The space is what our uniqueness is. Inspiration, fulfillment, those are byproducts of the space. Anybody spend enough time in this room will be impacted by Bob's words. Victor's, everyone here, Tony, Hadi, we just need to get a chance. And that's what we provide. I think that would be a fair place, because I was part of network marketings. I was part of corporations. I quit the corporation because I didn't like the environment of FedEx Ground after the 5 years. But I went to Primerica because of the environment they provided. They gave inspiration, and they said it was a family type of thing, and all of these goodies, trips. We have all of those combined in retreats, in places we can go together. This is just the conversation to start. The course is just to get them to thinking like us. My way of solving a problem, when I have one, is I said, if Bob had this problem, what would he do with it? So I'm thinking like Bob. I want to train myself to think more like Bob. If I was 49, which I'm just past 54, I have some challenges, physical challenges. At 49, he started learning hockey, and now he plays, 3-4 days a week. The environment that he surrounded himself is making what it is, I believe. Thank you.
Yeah. So I wanted to add is that what I feel, because Bob talked about to identify one fear, but I believe what helped me until now, and I'm just starting, is that my fear is actually my compass. When I fear something, when I feel resistance, maybe it's the way to go. I have to go there, and even though if it feels very challenging, because if I can go through that fear, things become easier if it's the right path. And if it's not the right path, actually I will feel a lot more resistance and more signs to back off and choose another way. So I think fear is a compass actually. And maybe if you are scared, if people are scared to join us, maybe they should join us. You know, this is important for me because when you contact me first time, Arif, I had a little bit of resistance, and it was part of the game. I had to go pass through it and to be here with you guys. So I think, yeah, fear is your compass, and I actually keep repeating this to myself even now.
That's
Yeah,
comfort, right?
yeah,
I mean, that it's taking you out of your comfort zone. When you're uncomfortable, you're probably in the right place.
yeah, exactly. That's the most uncomfortable zone might be the comfort zone.
Right. And it's really weird. You have to learn to be comfortable, uncomfortable, right? Because that's the only
Mm,
time you grow is when you're uncomfortable.
yes, exactly. So that's what I would add, Victor, to the statement.
All right, we're getting there in a
Thank you
very
so much,
roundabout way.
Vic,
Victor, and
what do
the
you
rest of us. I think Bob is ready to go. He just jumped on this call, and I wanted everybody to benefit from this wisdom. Honestly, he
Yeah,
inspires me.
thank you, Bob.
This is a place of
No,
inspiration, and I
Vic, what are
wanted
you
to
my,
give
launching?
inspiration
Vic,
to
what are you
everybody.
launching first, Vic? Are you launching the
Oh,
Entrepreneurs Collaborative or first?
No,
Or
the website first. The Entrepreneurs Collaborative is. I got to get with Jeff about what he's created so far and how we
yeah.
can modify it for our purposes. It exists. It's there. Um, but that's the
Look,
initial part for sure is the
If Jeff
website.
doesn't deliver, Vic, we could possibly use Eugene to create that.
I'm thinking of using Eugene to actually create this site. I'm
Yeah,
literally after we come
because
up with the verbiage and the act and to be able to have all the stuff, the mission statement. We already have the four pillars. The video that we're going to create, Arif and I, which doing any bigger than that would be, I think, a little bit crazy and ridiculous. And then I can put something up that will actually pop and do this.
yeah.
So, Vic, I'm gonna let Bob close up because he's ready to go play some hockey. If you need the parting
all right.
wisdom, sir, just tell me up. If you're ready to roll, we're gonna make sure we catch up for some hockey talk.
Add me
No,
on
listen,
WhatsApp, Bob. I put my contact on chat. So if you come Montreal, yeah, I would be glad to host you.
thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I look forward to
Mm,
meeting you guys. And thanks again for jumping. I just have to jump on a call here in 10 minutes. So I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity. I hope it helped a little bit, but if you guys need me, I'm here whenever you're available.
nice. Thank you.
Thank
Have
you
a
so
good one.
much. Thank you, Bob.
And
All
Uh,
Bob,
right.
we'll nail
Ciao.
down when this big meeting is going to happen. I'm thinking beginning of August, but we'll be in touch to be able to come up with that. And I'm going to bring
That's
my
cool.
wife. That
All
this
right.
is going to
Awesome.
be a biggie because she'll love the two of you, and it'll change her viewpoint of all the craziness I do in my business when she meets the two of you.
so will I. So we're gonna make it a family drive down. Let's go do
All
it.
right.
Thank you so
Ciao,
much.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bob. Jan, if you like to talk again with Tony, with Hadi, this room, you can have the access. As of right now, Hadi can make you admin. You can join us Saturday morning. And on that note, Victor, you want anything else to add to your mission statement? Short and sweet is better.
Yeah, it is. I think it.
Overthinking is the big problem.
Well, yeah, it is, and I think that we have so far been overemphasizing the wellness part of the. I mean, with the pillars, you got the four pillars being the mindset, mental part, the physical wellness part of it, the third part being the business part of it, all come together, and I think, and especially feedback from Tony, is that the whole wellness, how to live better and eat better and all that stuff is way, way, way overblown. People are tired of hearing about it. As part of the process, I think that's good, but actually talking about it and put it in the forefront probably isn't. But the mental part of it, the mindset, I think is the key. So that's should be part of the mindset. So I have written down here that with part of the 3 pillars: the the personal development mindset, the wellness, the physical, mental, and financial, that putting all that together will equal the financial success that people want in their whole life. And part of what we do in taking the course is show people how the financial part of it comes into play by saving money, by showing them how to use their money better with potentially a little bit of investments, and more appropriately to how to scale their business to be able to be the best possible business that it can be, using our community as a means in which to promote it everywhere. That to me is it. But how do we put that in a mission statement and be succinct is a good question. And Tony, I don't think you're a good qualification to do that, because writing succinct things is not your gig.
Okay.
I think I would do a completely different approach, Vic.
Shocking. Go ahead.
I would lead with the entrepreneurs community and make a main part of that Arif's course, because people may come on board, and if you lead with a course, a lot of people will think, I don't need it. Because I talk to a lot of businesses every day, Vic, and the last thing they want is a course. Or at least they think the last thing they want is a course. They don't realize they need it. So they need to be led in gently rather than, up front with a course. So I think if you create the landing page for the Entrepreneurs Collaborative, lead them into that and say, by the way, as part of the upgrade with all the other benefits you get, you also get, and then Ozzy, Arif, and yourself present the benefits of the course. I think that's the way to do it.
Well, that's a completely different approach.
So,
that has to set your head on fire, Arif, because
Arif, I'm sure Arif doesn't care what the motive.
so here, this is what the Bob talked about: a upside down structure. Okay, our final offer is this course, and it's our environment. The outcome we put in self. We're going to put a lot of focus on self. I just heard mental is biggest problem. I see it every day. It's not financial, it's mental. If we fix the mental, all health, other things will take care of themselves. So the goal to have 1,000 people trained, that's my goal. That's not your goal. That's not, that's my goal. All of us will have our own goals in the 90-day program. Unless I know exactly what Hadi wants, I can't focus him. He's an overthinker. He's a very gentle, deep thinker. He might go on the ocean and just look around for 2 days and just come up with a whole bunch of ideas. I'm understanding his personality type, right? But he also needs to take action. Like who? Anton is the best example of this. Anton was on Facebook. I messaged him. Literally, he came here 2 minutes. I explained what we do. All the 4 pillars. I told him, if you're free, come on Saturday. And exactly 2 minutes later, he went online. He registered for the course on Camel Care. He messaged me, I have registered. It can't be faster than that action. And that's
Arif,
what we inspire.
Do you care, Arif, what the initial motivation is for anyone coming to the course? Do you, I mean, as long as they come onto it, they're going to get a benefit. Does it matter what their initial motivation is? Because they may just come on board. They may say, I just want to network and promote my real estate business or my wellness center or my network market, whatever. They may not even be thinking about a 4-pillar course. But after 3 or 4 weeks interacting, they may say, do you know what? This is the main benefit of this whole program. So do you see what I'm saying, Arif? Rather than lead with that, I would lead with just a general networking group, which everybody can relate to, and then upsell into your course. If you, Arif, I'm telling
Tony,
you,
isn't it you who actually said that the world is overrun with networking organizations?
Have I everyone's permission to speak really bluntly and ruthlessly as friends? Do you have
Yeah, I would love it.
Okay, here's what my take would be now. As an outsider, if I just come as an outsider, I would say, I am inundated every day with billions of dollars or billions of amounts of information, and 90% of it is completely free. I can go free online and find out about diet. I can go free on YouTube and find out about mindset. I can be free on, I can find out from the top gurus of all sorts, Tony Robbins, Richard Branson, Richard Brunson, you name it, you type in any guru, you'll get hundreds of hours of courses free, completely free. So that's what I think a lot of people, the attitude a lot of people will take. They don't realize the benefit, and it's going to take time to win them over to the benefits of Arif's course. So the better way to do this would be create a simple networking group, completely free, which people can upsell into if they want to advertise, if they want to do this, do that, do the other. The main focus of it will be Arif does his presentation, or Victor does his, or Hadi for Van does theirs. Now, that can come down the line and people will start to realize, I see now what Arif's getting at. I see now why the man. But if you lead, I think if you lead with that, people will just say, I haven't got time for a course. I'm an accountant. I'm busy. I've got a real estate deal here that can make me $20 million. Why the hell would I bother going on a 20-day course? I just haven't got the time. Maybe I'm being too blunt.
I think I think you have good points. I resonate with what you're saying. Yeah, but yeah, and I like when people just speak frankly like this. We lose less time.
My thinking, Hadi, is like leading a fish into a net. You don't charge into the water swinging a hammer.
Yeah.
Trying to hit. You gently give it a wee bit of bait, wee bit of free bait. Just give it a wee worm or a wee bit of bread. Comes in gently. It's cautious. It's not sure. What am I here for? And then it sees it, and then gradually it says, do you know what? I'd much rather be in Arif's fish tank. It's warm. I can see now the point of why I need to be here. If you charge in heavy right away, a lot of people will say, this is not for me.
All right, so let's talk about the value proposition that Bob had talked about, because that's a biggie. So, and our identity, what are we? Are we a networking organization that provides personal development? I think so. I think that's really where we have to go, is that we need a hook. We need a big ass hook that people will want to actually latch onto to sign on for free and go through the process of Vic, potentially getting to the course.
What you need, Vic, is a very simple landing page with 5 or 6 key benefits which they get free. So join for free. You get free networking. You get advice from key people to help you grow your business. You get the free CRM tool that Eugene has. You get free this, free that, free the other. Okay, all completely free, no obligation. However, we have lots of other tasty stuff in personal development, in business growth, etc., etc. You've got to come to our meeting. You've got to sign up to see what they are, and then when they come on board, not everybody, but a lot of them will say, "Oh, this is for me."
Actually, this is how I get on board, and this is how Jan is getting on board too. So it makes sense.
It's kind of happening anyway, because Arif, correct me if I'm wrong, but then the Saturday morning calls, if there's 6 people on them, then only half of them are actually paid members anyway. So there's pros and cons to doing this, but for sure, we have to come up with something that is free, that addresses all of the market for people that want either personal development or business collaboration, networking, and the health and wellness just goes along for the ride. That's just part of the deal.
Yeah. But
is that where we need to go?
Anybody seeking to grow their business needs all of those things. They need mindset, they need personal, but they just may not know that right away. They may not be aware of that. So you need to take them in gently rather than just, charge in. You've got to do this course. This is why you've got to do it, because you need this, you need that. And people are thinking,
I think that's the key. Tony, we talked about this a long time ago. What businesses want? What they want is more leads, more ability to be able to close more deals, more everything. How do they go about getting that? There's a zillion ways and all kinds of different convoluted efforts, but we have the ability to be able to offer that, and then along the way be able to show them how the mindset part of it, the blue zones, the physical, the mental part of it will help them get to that end goal. The means in which to get to that point is going to be key. And how do we monetize free without actually driving ourselves crazy?
The way I would do that is
Arif has got an idea on that.
Yourself and Arif could create a short video, say 15, 20-minute video outlining all the benefits of the Blue Zone course.
That's not short.
Hold on a second, Vic. Hold on a second. We have that permanently on the networking site. So literally, that's when they come in, they get that as part under a section which is called personal development. You have a section for person, and under that, at the very top of the page, is Mr. Arif Gilany telling us the benefits of Blue Zone, which everybody in this networking group can benefit from. Some people may come along and say, not sure. And then a week later, they say, these guys are sharp. These know what they're talking. Then they come on board.